Hello, everyone, and welcome to this expert learning session supporting Facebook's global data center growth. My name is Alana Iacobo, and I am a strategic marketing director at Schneider Electric. I'll be your host today. I'm joined by two very knowledgeable gentlemen, Jeff Ronan, who is the Global Data Center Design BMS Program Lead at Facebook, and Bill Westbrook, who is the Strategic Account Executive supporting Facebook from Schneider Electric. I'm incredibly excited to have these two gentlemen with us today, as they're both able to give us an inside perspective to Facebook. And who hasn't wondered what it would be like to work for Facebook every time you like a photo or post a story? Well, today we're going to get that insider view. In this session, they'll be sharing a very interesting project with us, a data center project that has enabled Facebook's global growth. And I don't want to give too much about the project away. I'll leave that to our speakers. But today we'll be discussing Facebook's need for a global, scalable, repeatable building management system and how they were able to find a solution and a partner to help them deliver on their mission. So Jeff, first, thank you for joining us today. Before we dig in and start talking about Facebook's global management system, I'd love for the audience to get to know you. Can you share a bit about how you came to join Facebook and what it's like to work there?
Yeah, hi Alana, and thanks for hosting us today. So I joined Facebook in early 2012. After 20 years as a control contractor, I kind of plateaued in my career. Facebook was just starting to design their own greenfield data centers, and so I applied through the Facebook career webpage. Just like anybody else could that is interested in the career of Facebook. I was the first BMS engineer hired at Facebook, so it was a great opportunity for me. And now we have over 100 BMS engineers across the globe in different organizations. When I had joined at the time, I was employee number 3,000-ish, and we were in the middle of building our first two data centers. Our entire data center design, construction, and operations team at the time was about 24 strong. The BMS program had no strong partners. We had no standards. We had very loosely defined sequences and specifications. And when I was hired, my marching orders, my expectation was, hey, just look around and try to find a way to make us better. It's been an incredible journey. It's an amazing place to work. Every single person there is the smartest person you've ever worked with. They all check their egos at the door, and they all collaborate well to solve problems. The leadership style is empowering, and the culture facilitates a one-team approach, not to mention all the great perks and the incredible free food.
And so you've been there for almost 10 years. What, Jeff, does your role look like now?
Yeah, now, we have some really strong partners like Schneider Electric. We have very rigid standards. We have clearly defined sequences and specifications. And our main focus now is on optimization and scalability. Internally, we've grown from not much more than over a dozen folks between design, construction, and operations to over 3,000 people across all those internal teams. And currently, I'm part of the Data Center Design Global Accelerator team. My focus is on global BMS program management and technical strategy. I spend most of my time supporting the success of my internal and external cross-functional partners and continuously de-risking our long-term objectives. We now have 20 Facebook-owned data center sites across the globe and continue to grow at an astronomical pace to support our family of applications and hardware. All of us, internal and external, have one mission, which is to meet the requirements of our very aggressive build schedule.
Thanks for sharing, Jeff. And Bill, thank you for joining us today as well. You and Schneider Electric are one of those partners that Jeff just mentioned, helping Facebook achieve their global data center growth. Can you share a bit with us about your role and the strategic partnership between Schneider Electric and Facebook?
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks, Alana. I've worked in the energy management and power distribution and automation business for over 30 years with a primary focus in the data center space, helping companies like Facebook globally. And in 2015, I was fortunate enough to be given the opportunity and a mission to begin building a Schneider Electric management and power distribution program to support the sustainable growth of the Facebook data center business, with this focus to bring additional automation and efficiency and reliability in a sustainable power delivery program throughout their data center systems. Today, we have a dedicated Schneider team focused on running now a tier 1 partnership with 1,000+ Facebook experts like Jeff to provide a full suite of sustainable hardware and software and services activity throughout the Facebook business.
Great, thank you, Bill. And Jeff, before we deep dive into the building management program that you lead, can you give the audience a high-level overview of the Facebook brand itself?
Yeah, sure. So when most people think about Facebook, they think Facebook. But there's also Facebook Messenger, there's Instagram, there's WhatsApp, there's Oculus, there's Workplace, there's Facebook Portal, there's Navi. There's a very wide range of applications that we support in our data centers. At the end of 2020, Facebook had 2.8 billion monthly active users. Messenger had 1.6 billion monthly active users. Instagram was at 1.4 billion. WhatsApp was over 2 billion. Across these applications, our data centers host over 100 billion messages every day.
That's amazing. Those numbers are absolutely astounding, Jeff. With the massive amount of data and the massive amount of users, the demand for a Facebook data center around the globe just has to be astronomical. Can you share a bit about Facebook's global data center portfolio today and also what it might look like in the future?
Yeah, our growth has been indescribable. The data center design program started in 2009. By 2011, we had only one data center at 15 megawatts of capacity. By 2018, we had 18 data centers at 450 megawatts of capacity. By the end of 2022, we expect to have about 68 data centers serving traffic across the world.
Wow, that's incredible. And Bill, have you been to any of these facilities? Can you tell us a bit about what they're like?
Yeah, Alana, I've been to just about all of the data centers that are up and running, across the globe and with Facebook. So, and not only are these data centers just extremely large, but they really consist across a large 200-acre campus. So, that campus has multiple data halls on it, as well as high voltage utility substation. There's a renewable energy, system. There's dozens of standby generation for the backup requirements. And then, of course, once you get inside, just endless rows and rows of IT rack and infrastructure. So much that you need scooters and bikes to get around both inside the data hall and then just from building to building on the campus. So truly a remarkable design and accomplishment by Facebook.
Mm. And Jeff, what else should we know about Facebook data centers?
So as Bill mentioned, these data centers are massive. A full building could host 46 soccer fields. They have countless numbers of rooftop air conditioners. They use the same amount of copper as 62 Statues of Liberty and about 500,000 square feet of servers. One thing I would like to note, though, is Facebook global operations are now supported by 100% renewable energy. And this is part of our commitment to accelerating the renewable energy transition.
That's amazing. Truly a great mission that Facebook is on towards sustainability, and great to hear about how it's impacting operations. Gentlemen, thank you for giving us such a great sense of the scale of these data centers and certainly their global footprint. Keeping all that in mind, audience, let's now deep dive into the project that we want to discuss today, which is the Schneider Electric and Facebook PLC program. So Jeff, can you give us a bit of background on how this project started?
Yeah, sure. So in early 2017, our leadership released an incredibly aggressive build schedule. At the same time, we're reaching the limits of our current DDC platform and delivery model. A DDC platform, or direct digital control platform, is really a building management solution developed more for commercial applications. Our data centers are considered critical facilities, which teeter on the line of commercial industrial when considering a building management system. The lack of inherent product redundancy created some overly complex control design strategies, and the platform delivery model was proprietary in nature, which limited our sourcing and partner options. We need to solve both of these problems if we're going to become more repeatable and scalable.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like some big challenges, Jeff. So what were you looking for in a new building management solution?
Well, leaders from Facebook operations, design, and construction teams worked together to conduct a months-long assessment on how to solve these problems and agreed that a pivot to a PLC platform and a delivery model could provide a more inherently redundant solution with increased speed to market. The programmable logic controller could be procured through any wholesaler and installed and commissioned by any qualified system integrator. This really opened up our options for us.
And Bill, can you maybe level set our audience a little bit on what a programmable logic controller is and how it's typically used?
Yeah, sure, Alon. So, a PLC essentially is just a ruggedized computer that can automate a specific process, a machine function or a production line. It's typically thought of as a solution in industrial applications. So think of like mineral and mining application, food and beverage manufacturing line, and it can also be used in applications as well, like data centers. The benefit of a PLC solution is its 24/7 availability and reliability, its high level of scalability, and its open standard protocols with IT security and compatibility to the ruggedized IT security type of networks. This can make it an optimal solution when designing a global BMS system, utilizing that PLC platform. It brings availability and fault tolerance at large scale and complex systems. Interesting enough, Schneider was the inventor of the PLC. So Schneider rolled out the first PLC in 1968, and since then we've evolved that technology and platform into what it is today.
Great, thanks, Bill, for sharing that information on the product itself. And Jeff, you knew that you and Facebook wanted a PLC product, but was there anything else that you knew you needed besides the product?
Yeah, selecting the technology only solved part of the problem. We had to establish the best delivery model to meet our requirements of consistency and scalability. I remember when I was a contractor, we never had the opportunity to work directly for an owner and really understand their goals and challenges and what was important to them. We either worked under a general contractor or a mechanical contractor, and each model carried their own conflicts of interest. I always felt like we could have been so much more effective having a contractual business relationship and working directly with the folks that we're going to deliver for. I was fortunate that in my position at Facebook and empowered to bend the industry by my leadership, we did just that. We established a contractual line of direct owner accountability for all of the deliverables that would typically be managed by a site general contractor. It was a model that none of our partners had ever experienced and came with some significant growing pains. But as an owner, we knew the only way to get what we really wanted was to lead this ourselves. As such, we created a delivery structure with direct owner oversight of the development and delivery of project of all hardware design and programming elements associated with BMS. At the project level, the general contractors hired independent system integrators to install and commission each individual site.
Amazing. And Bill, this delivery model is certainly interesting for Facebook, right, at their scale, but is it applicable to other data centers as well?
Yeah, although Facebook builds very large hyperscale level type data centers, this system is still applicable to really all data center owners and operators. Some examples of this are, working directly with the data center designers and operations team to capture the, quote, how the data center will be installed, commissioned, and operate. This needs to be captured during the design planning process And this program helps kind of create that structure and ensure that happens to take in all the requirements of the owner. The second piece is also important, and it's the efficiency improvement. By separating the design from the installation, this allows specific teams to focus on their core strength. And so it really creates somewhat of an assembly line. You can take a company like Schneider Electric, and you can have just some of the key, expert engineers focus on just, panel design and point naming and network addressing and pre-programming the PLCs and graphic screens. The final results of those types of activities provides the data center owner like Facebook with a pre-configured set of design and installation packages, which drives for a much more consistent and repeatable system.
And Jeff, let's come back to the program, move away from the model for a minute. Can you help our audience understand how and why Facebook chose Schneider Electric for this project?
Yeah, we needed a partner with global reach and could support every facet of our BMS business needs across the globe. We needed a partner large enough and flexible enough to build fast and change course on a dime. We needed a partner that would work closely with us to understand our challenges and develop solutions together. They would need to be experts in the platform hardware, but also in HVAC and controls. We needed a partner that would allow us to influence their product roadmaps and build tools that supported our ever-growing complex designs and processes. With help from our internal sourcing teams and other cross-functional partners, we were able to define these high-level criteria, identify multiple companies that could potentially meet these requirements, and start out on a long and arduous interview process. At the end of it all, Schneider Electric was the partner that met our criteria and whom we felt we could trust to help us meet our global growth. Schneider Electric has done an incredible job supporting our fast-paced program under some really difficult circumstances. Through it all, over the last 4 years, I've never felt like Facebook made the wrong decision.
That's great to hear, Jeff. And Bill, I'm sure that once Schneider Electric was chosen as Facebook's partner, your world changed. So what was it like to pull together the team that executed this project?
Yeah, it was a big opportunity, and it was a great opportunity. We had the ability to put into action the value and the deep knowledge of the Schneider team to fit and to see firsthand the outcome and the benefits of this program. We started out really building a cross-functional team that draws from SC, Schneider Electric experts from, not only the building management side, which focuses on the HVAC, categories, but also on the industrial automation side to make sure we're capturing the PLC kind of industrial automation part of it and blend those things together. We had to move fast. We had to move efficiently, with building the team and to help meet the Facebook aggressive data center build schedule.
Yeah, and Jeff, let's start to really explore the project now. So can you tell us how the project kicked off in 2017?
Yeah, it was in the fall of 2017. We made our final recommendation to our senior leadership team that we had chosen Schneider to support us from a hardware and a design system integrator perspective. Our initial recommendation at the time was to pilot this at one upcoming project and glean the lessons learned to help us build out repeatable, high-quality execution plan. Our leadership team made a rip the Band-Aid off decision and provided direction to immediately pivot all in design and upcoming projects to PLC.
That seems, Jeff, like a huge decision to accelerate the program, right? Going from a pilot mode to a global standard. What did that decision mean for you and your team?
Yeah, it meant just a whole lot of work for everyone. But in hindsight, it was the correct call. At the time of that decision, we had 4 new regions nearing design completion, 2 regional expansions that were just past design completion. The decision was to pivot for each of these and all projects moving forward. That meant a complete specification rewrite, development of all new PLC-based standards, building a PLC delivery model while also gaining buy-in and acceptance from all of our downstream partners. We also had to prepare our internal teams to manage completely new or different workflows. What started as a cross-functional 10-person team in October of 2017 grew to well over 100 people in the next 18 months to support this huge undertaking.
Wow. And since that beginning, have there been any program changes?
There has. You always kind of have to take a look at what's working and what's not and make course corrections. And 2020 became our year of optimization. We'd made it through our original build schedule, but we needed greater organizational alignment and efficient execution. At the end of 2019, we put an aggressive 2020 roadmap in place, working with the Schneider leadership team. We reorganized internal team structures for broader alignment. We needed to lean out commercial and execution processes and create much more repeatable workflows. One of the key outcomes of this was the development of a very intuitive automated tool called the librarian. We cataloged all of our disparate mechanical system types into model numbers, and the Schneider Electric engineering team built a tool that would generate automated deliverables based on these model numbers. What used to take months or weeks could now take days or even hours to output.
This librarian tool seems pretty cool, Jeff, and it seems like it was definitely a big win for both teams in terms of efficiency and savings. Bill, can you share or think of any other ways that other data center operators could use this idea of the librarian, so to speak, in their business?
Yeah, Alana, the librarian is a great tool and a great innovation. A common theme in the data center industry is to, always be improving the program. And this includes, whether it's just the control systems as well as the mechanical, electrical, hydronic system. The librarian allows the owners and operators of any data center, company to continuously play out the kind of what if scenarios, right? And to do that with a minimal set of engineering people and costs. This allows those data center owners to run some different scenarios and then continue improving the process without inhibiting their current design workflow. And in the end, this allows them to keeping up with changes in technology to meet the growing demand of their business. It also frees up some of the staff from like the Schneider team because we don't need as many people running those designs, and those individuals can help out in other functions, with Facebook's business, whether it's kind of after turnover or the operations space. So there's some great efficiencies using this librarian across all data center type accounts.
Great. And Jeff, as we talk about efficiency here, are there any other efficiency savings that you found in the program through that, year of optimization?
We have. The librarian also spurred a comprehensive redesign of all of our different panel types. And a joint Facebook Schneider Electric team undertook an effort to review all 64 different panel design variances that we had at that time and brought this to under a dozen. This was a huge improvement for our global delivery model. Our optimization efforts were paying dividends. We were effectively able to do more with less. As our data center design and build schedule grew and accelerated, we reduced the Schneider Electric program support headcount by 38%, while increasing quality and decreasing schedule slippage. At the height of the program, Schneider Electric had 135 team members on the program supporting Facebook for this initiative. By the end of the first half of 2020, Schneider Electric's dedicated headcount to support our program was narrowed down to 88. In the meantime, Facebook's own internal design BMS team grew from 4 to what is now 14. This reduced our base project BMS cost by over 22% on average, and also created some flexibility to shift trained and skilled resources. Bill was just alluding to is how we've been able to repurpose these folks to support our data center operations teams without having to dip into our design and construction talent pool.
That's great. And Jeff, I'd like to maybe take a moment of reflection with you. You've been with Facebook for 10 years now, and you've been 4 years on this PLC program project. Can you share a bit about, knowing what you know now, what are the key attributes to Facebook's scalable data center growth?
Yeah, we have learned a lot. And if a few of the things are early engagement and inclusion, earlier in design development and design decisions. So we need to include our partners while we're making decisions rather than dictating design decisions, and they're better prepared to help you be successful. You have to establish reliable partners and develop strong relationships. You have to have reciprocal trust. You have to develop rigid standards that translate into repeatable, reusable designs. You have to streamline every process. You have to lean out as much as you can and be as efficient as possible. You need to gain total cross-functional alignment internally and externally. There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of different people that support this. Limit change wherever possible. And most of all, you have to have a one-team approach where we're either all successful together or we all fail together.
Yeah, and Bill, I know that was something that Jeff shared with you countless times, right? You guys are both hitched to each other's wagons, so to speak. So, Bill, anything you'd like to share about what it's been like to support a customer like Facebook and have that one-team approach?
Yeah, to all the points Jeff just mentioned, it's been a tremendous journey. And the point about live and work and operate as one team, both through all kind of the successes and the challenges, and facing those challenges and solving them together was quite amazing. So, leveraging the Schneider Electric depth of talent to work collectively with, Jeff and the entire Facebook team to deliver this unique program has been, quite amazing. A great journey to organize this global skilled Schneider team to focus and work side by side to help build this global program. Again, it's been great, an amazing partnership, and it continues to evolve and grow.
Great. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for giving us a glimpse inside Facebook's data centers today and this program that's enabling Facebook's global data center growth. It's definitely interesting to see how such a robust global building management program is operating and how it's delivering those 22% savings, right, due to those optimization projects, Jeff and Bill, that you just spoke about. And optimization and efficiency is definitely the objective of Schneider Electric's EcoStruxure platform. And we do that through digital technology. So our EcoStruxure for cloud and service provider platform is increasing the visibility of system performance for our customers and enabling them with the information they need to make real-time decisions, whether that's in the power part of their business, building, or their IT systems. As we wrap this session today, I definitely encourage all of our audience members to visit the Innovation Hub, where you can see our products and solutions. You'll be able to discover our latest innovations and learn more about the value that Schneider Electric products, solutions, and services deliver to customers like Facebook. Again, I'd like to thank our two speakers today. Thank you to Jeff and Bill for sharing your knowledge and your experience. And thank you to our audience for your time and interest today.
Thanks, Alana.
Thanks, Alana.